Imagine driving down a lonely road, surrounded by twisted trees swaying in the wind. The full moon barely cuts through the thick fog, and then you hear it, the sound of hooves. Fast, heavy, steady. The noise grows louder, echoing through the woods until a black horse bursts out of the darkness. Its rider wears a dark cloak, gripping a shining sword. But where his face should be, there's only emptiness. No eyes, no voice, just the whisper of the wind and the scent of sulfur in the air. Who or what is this figure that rides headless, seeking vengeance even after death? Is it just an old legend, or the cursed soul of a soldier doomed to wander for eternity? Many claim they've seen him. Others vanish before they can tell the tale. The real question is, would you dare face the Headless Horseman when the sound of his gallop echoes right behind you? Long before he became a horror icon, the Headless Horseman was born from the shadows of war and from the superstitions that shaped the earliest days of the United States. His story dates back to the late 18th century, a time when the new nation was still struggling to stand on its own, and fear of the unknown haunted every forest, every lonely village. The legend took root in the small and mysterious town of Sleepy Hollow, a fictional community created by writer Washington Irving in 1820, inspired by real villages along New York's Hudson Valley. Back then, people deeply believed in spirits, curses, and hauntings, and Irving's tale transformed those fears into one of the most enduring myths in American folklore. Irving described Sleepy Hollow as a place wrapped in a constant fog where time seemed to stop, and where the dead, they said, never truly rested. It was there that the rider appeared, a Hessian soldier decapitated during the American Revolutionary War, whose soul could not find peace. From that moment on, he was doomed to ride through the night searching for his lost head, spreading terror wherever he went. But contrary to what many believe, this legend isn't purely American. It carries traces of ancient European tales, of headless warriors, cursed knights, and vengeful spirits. England, Germany, and even Ireland had similar stories centuries before. What Irving did was give a face, or rather take it away from one of humanity's deepest fears, the horror of losing one's identity and becoming nothing but a shadow of what once was. Over the years, the Headless Horseman transcended the pages of literature. He became a symbol of vengeance, mystery, and the unknown, everything humans fear but can't quite explain. And maybe that's why, even today, some say his presence can still be felt along the empty roads that cut through the heart of New York's countryside. In the quiet village of Sleepy Hollow, life moved at its own strange rhythm, slow, eerie, almost suspended in time. The mornings were blanketed in heavy fog, and the nights were something else entirely. No one dared to walk alone after sunset. Every now and then villagers swore they could hear the distant echo of hooves pounding through the trees, a chilling warning that he was near. The legend told of a headless horseman, the restless spirit of a Hessian soldier hired by the British during the American Revolution. In the chaos of a bloody battle, a cannonball tore off his head, and from that moment he was doomed to wander forever. His body was buried in the old churchyard of Sleepy Hollow, but his head was never found. They say his ghost still rides through the woods, mounted on a horse as black as the night, wielding a gleaming sword, searching for what was stolen from him. Some claim to have seen him crossing mist-covered bridges. Others only heard his gallop fading into the distance. And there were those who whispered that he wasn't just searching for his own head. He was collecting the heads of anyone foolish enough to cross his path. It was in this grim setting that the legend's most famous character appeared, Ichabod Crane, a lanky, superstitious, daydreaming schoolteacher who arrived in the village with simple goals to teach and perhaps win the heart of the beautiful Katrina Van Tassel, the daughter of a wealthy farmer. But Crane's fate was about to collide with the terror that haunted Sleepy Hollow. One fateful night, after a village feast filled with tales of ghosts and curses, Ichabod set out alone along the forest road, riding his weary horse under a pale moon. The wind howled through the trees. Each rustle, each shadow, made his heart pound faster. And then he heard that sound, the one everyone feared, the rhythmic thunder of hooves closing in fast. Ichabod tried not to look back, tried to convince himself it was only his imagination. But when he finally turned, his blood ran cold. There he was, the Headless Horseman, cloaked in black, his sword glinting in the moonlight. Crane spurred his horse, racing through the forest, dodging branches, crossing bridges, but the sound never stopped. The rider was relentless. The chase ended in darkness. By morning, the only thing they found was Ichabod's horse wandering aimlessly near the road, and on the ground a shattered pumpkin soaked in dew. No sign of the schoolteacher, no sound, no body. Since that night, the people of Sleepy Hollow say that on cold autumn evenings, the horseman still rides those empty roads, searching for something he will never find. And every distant gallop is a reminder that not all the dead rest in peace. As the centuries passed, the Headless Horseman became more than just a figure of fiction for many. He turned into a real presence, a dark force that still lingers over the silent hills of the Hudson Valley. Countless locals swear they've seen something out there, a shadowy rider on a black horse, appearing out of nowhere and vanishing as swiftly as the wind. Some say that on the coldest nights you can still hear the sound of hooves echoing from the forest, even when there is not a single animal around. Others claim to have seen strange, flickering lights moving along the empty roads, as if something unseen were gliding through the darkness. In 1943, a group of hunters reported witnessing a headless figure crossing a field, holding something that glimmered under the moonlight, and when they got closer, it simply dissolved into the mist. There are also stories of tourists who visited Sleepy Hollow out of sheer curiosity and left forever changed. One man said he took a picture of the old bridge where Ichabod Crane was last seen, and later, when he looked closer, he noticed the faint outline of a horse right behind him, but no rider. Local authorities blame it all on natural causes, the wind, light tricks, reflections, but the older residents know better. They speak of a heavy presence, an energy that presses down on you. They say if you walk alone on those roads, you'll feel a chill crawl up your spine, as if the air itself were watching. So what is he, really? Just a ghost story, or the restless spirit of a fallen soldier, still riding between worlds, searching for what he lost over 2 centuries ago? No one has ever found the answer, and maybe that's for the best. Because if he truly still rides through the autumn nights, that sound you hear behind you might not be just the wind. The Headless Horseman isn't just a story to scare children, nor merely a literary tale to entertain. He is the dark reminder that some legends survive for centuries because they carry something deeper, ancient fears, the idea of justice or vengeance, and the chilling sense that not everything can be explained by logic. Sleepy Hollow teaches us that the line between myth and reality is thin. Maybe the horseman is just a reflection of our own anxieties, of what we fear to face in the dark. Or maybe, somehow, he still rides at night, invisible, silent, ever watchful, ready to appear when we least expect it. If this story sent shivers down your spine, know you're not alone. Many wonder if they'd ever dare face the gallop coming from the shadows. And the truth is, the mystery of the Headless Horseman remains alive precisely because no one knows where the legend ends and reality begins. If you enjoyed this dive into the shadows of Sleepy Hollow and want to uncover more dark secrets hidden around the world, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single mystery. And remember, the next time you hear hooves on a lonely road at night, maybe it's not just the wind.